Okay, folks, get on your mucklucks, your toques, and your winter underwear. We're going way up north. No, not Minnesota. Stick around and I'll tell you about it. Folks, Old Man Grognard here, and I'm bringing you another great game supplement. This one's from Mad Martian Games, and it's called The Ice Kingdoms. Now, this one was a Kickstarter that funded in August of 2016. And it is copyright 2016. It's a 202-page book for a somewhat Nordic or Icelandic campaign setting for a lot of old and newer school editions of our favorite game, of course. It's about, like I said, 202 pages. This is what the hardback looks like right there. And it's a beautiful book, and it reads really interesting. The authors are C.S. Barnhart, Chris Lights, and the venerable James M. Ward. So you know it's got to be good. Now, what they do is they give you a campaign world that is easily slotted into any world you want because it's a land bridge. There it is, and it's kind of a kingdom, but I think there's only one major city in there. Everything else is villages and towns and things like that because we're dealing with like the Icelandic types of the jarls and the tribesmen and the, you know, up there in Viking land type thing, which is really really nice. And they bend over backwards to help you convert it to whatever version of D&D or other retro clone or game you want in there. They give you charts, they give you advice, they give you things like that. But that's all well and good. How is the campaign world? Pretty thorough and pretty deadly. It is rough up there. It is really, yeah, it's, you know, it's a hard life. But it's but it's still an adventuring life, which is nice. Different tribes, different races of men. Here's some differences. First of all, elves are evil, most of them. I mean, they've made. I don't want to go through the cosmology or history of the place, but they made some pacts with dragons and other things like that, and they're bad guys. You can play human, you can play dwarf. There's also gnomes in this world, but they don't give you any stats for them. I don't know why. Chris, why? I mean, you said there were dwarves and gnomes. Where's the gnomes? Unless you're saving it for another supplement or something like that, because to me it's always going to be where's the gnomes. So they give you several races of men, different tribes, different types. There's even men in there that are cannibals. They're not well liked. Here's what the book looks like. 2-column layout, very tight, very, very, very professionally laid out with that beautiful header font. I love that. Here's some of the artwork that you'll find in the book. It's great stuff. Really, really nice stuff. Tells you about what life is like up there, what what you're going to find, the flora and fauna, village life, city life. Who gets along with who. They've got a whole big pantheon creation of the world type thing that I found hard to follow. But then again, I think most Norse sagas are hard to follow. Here's one of the tribes types of men. They do have regular magic. They have runic magic too. Regular runes and runic magic. As far as the land goes, very nice gazetteer in the geography section. Gives you enough to go on. Once again, it's one of those places, gives you enough to go on, and you fill in the rest. Perfect. I love it. And like I said, in the back, and I'll get into this. Monsters. Okay. Hags are a big deal. Which is hags, whatever. First of all, they're seers. Second of all, they're evil. And there's a whole cosmology about the great hag and the first woman and how they want to bring, and there's basically two types of big enemy for most people, are the hags and the giants. The giants had to be in there somewhere because it's a Norse thing. And I wouldn't have it any other way. It's great. It shows you how to make characters. Tells you what you have to. Some of them you have to buff up a bit and they give you some. There's pluses, minuses, things like that. Monsters. The usual stuff you'll find up there: orcs, minotaurs, things called haglings, which are little mini hags that do their bidding, things like this. Here's something I found fun. Wereborn. These are not lycanthropes. These are children of lycanthropes. Usually a lycanthrope in hybrid form mates with a human mother. And you get a wereborn. Now, rare cases, they said that a lycanthrope female in hybrid form will mate with a regular male that will also have a wereborn, but they're going to look more human, but they have features like they can understand and control certain animals, things like that, very nature oriented. I like this one. That's a horseman, and they're very tribal. They have the three they showed in there were horseman, rat, horseborn, wereborn horses, rats, and bear men that are basically, think of a centaur with a human body and a bear, or a human torso and head and stuff, and a bear body. I'm stealing these. Whatever I'm doing Astonishing Swordsman. I'm stealing these. Speaking of Astonishing Swordsman, this would be excellent for Astonishing Swordsman and Sorcerers of Hyperborea, or some other Conan type stuff, because eventually he went up to the north too. Sometimes, I mean, you've got stories in the far north, and you can put that in a world. See, this slots into anything because it's a land bridge. It's between two continents. Kind of like the upper land bridge between Russia and North America type thing. And so you have all these tribes and things living there. And you've got undead, you've got forests, you've got the usual fantasy stuff, but it's with a Nordic twist, which is really nice. So I'm going to recommend this highly. And it was a great read, too. I mean, I told you I'm getting slower on this stuff, but this is one I really enjoyed. I enjoyed this, enjoyed the hell out of this. Where to find it? Okay. Drive through an RPG now, have the PDF for $15. Okay? Lulu. You can get the PDF for $10. You can get the softbound for $25, and you get this one for $30. Okay? I don't know about, I saw a lot of Kickstarter stuff in there, like the map. I got a PDF of the map. They may be pronounced the maps is something like you can buy. And also, I believe there's a module also you can get that goes with this. That was one of the Kickstarter, extras. But they do sell them at Drive-Thru RPG and RPG Now as PDFs. But if I get a copy of it, I will do a review on it. So that is the Ice Kingdoms by Mad Martian Games. Run out and get this thing. I think it would really help if you want to put that kind of spin on your world for a little while. So that's my review of the Ice Kingdoms, and there's more reviews coming up, folks. So until next time, bye-bye.